back with Hoodie Hunt. What's up, my boy?
Yeah, I had to throw the hood on today, man. I had to. I'm honing my inner Carmelo Anthony, Bill Belichick. Week 4 made me mad, man. Week 4 was the worst. Like, what was that Kansas City Detroit game? Like, that was one. That was the craziest game of football I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, especially if you had Kansas City defense, that bull crap score, 99-yard touchdown. Hey, Stafford was playing. You know, Mahomes no touchdown passes. That was surprising, especially how many points they scored.
Crazy, man. Crazy. We're honing in on Week 5. Okay, Week
Yeah,
Four is in
yeah,
the
yeah.
past. There's always going to be those crazy weeks throughout the year. We're going to try to we're going to try to get the rebound and put it back up.
All right, so week 5, we're talking about what happened last night between the Eagles and the not Eagles. Seattle and who did play? The Rams. And that actually was a good game for fantasy. I mean, I did. I was winning money at halftime. I fell off because I didn't have Jared Goff, who decided to step up. After that bad performance he had against the Buccaneers, as far as picks wise and stuff. He turned it around. Cooper Cup looked good. Gurley, you know, saw some good signs. He kind of put people to quiet a little bit. And man, Russell Wilson is playing out of his mind right now. It's just
Yeah, Russell Wilson. Yeah, like I saw a tweet from you earlier. Like, besides Patrick Mahomes, he's playing the best football as a quarterback in this league. Um, Another thing, like we're seeing it every time, man. They're like Todd Gurley. Like, yes, he had a good fantasy game last night, but take away those touchdowns, and it really wasn't that productive because teams are putting six on the line, stopping the zone, and it's
mhm.
hard for them to make plays like that. That's why he's going like that's why Cooper Cup is such a great play every single week.
Yeah, you got to think that maybe Cooper Cup in that Super Bowl does some changes if you had C.J. Anderson and Gurley, because Cup looking like usually after ACL injury it takes you 2 years to get it right, but right now I think he's leading the league in receiving yards, so he's a monster right now. Another thing of note, Chris Carson, no more fumbling. So what does that mean for Penny? Nothing. He's not gonna he never gonna take the job from Carson. I don't, unless Carson gets banged up really bad. I don't see Carson ever dropping this. I mean, he had 3 fumbles in a row, and all of a sudden, no more fumbles, and now he's back to a tier 1 running back.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Him not making mistakes is definitely going to keep him on the field. But Rashad Penny still like he was healthy like yesterday, but he's still coming off that injury. I still think they're just going to slowly build him back in. And Rashad Penny is the more explosive back. The he's a play waiting to happen.
Another guy, man, my boy Tyler Lockett, man. Hey, you
Good man.
follow the money. He got paid like a star. He got the money, and you see it paying off dividends. He's in the Doug Baldwin role, where Doug Baldwin was dominant. So I mean, all the signs are pointing right at it. So, and Tyler Lockett continued that catch and that throw by Russell Wilson was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and yeah, that touchdown there, that was so nice. But I feel like these are things we'll be able to target. Against the Rams going forward is trying to target that slot like a Tyler Lockett,
Mhm.
as well as like I've always said they can't guard tight ends. Will Disley had a really good game last night as well.
Yeah, they can't guard slot. Chris Godwin to over 150 yards last week, and then Tyler Lockett again. So and Wood Disley, is he the fourth best tight end in the league behind Kelsey Ertz and Kittle, because he playing like it fifth. Who you got?
He,
Who you got? Evan Ingram. Okay.
you got to
All
go
right,
Evan
all right.
Ingram.
I slow the hype
But
train right now.
but
That's
okay, who I'm gonna try to start a hype train. Who how much of that game? I know like you're not. It's not gonna be the big numbers, but how do you like Jared Everett? He was making, besides that one pass where he dropped it and it caused that crazy interception.
he
He
should
looked
he should have had that touchdown.
he looked pretty explosive and looked pretty like I mean he's a big body out there, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, they paid the money to Higby. I thought that was the fault. I tried to follow that. Week 1 it worked, but it hasn't worked since then. So. So let's move on to week 5 with the rest of the games, and give us the injury report, man.
Oh man, all right. There are so many injuries this week. It's literally ridiculous. So already ruled out, we got Sam Darnold, of course. Saquon Barkley had a chance to play this week. amazingly. He's like John Cena with injuries apparently. Devontae Adams, he looked he's out. Christian Kirk is out. And then questionable, Kyle Allen has that concussion. Gardner Minshew has something with his knee, but he should be able to play. Godwin is still having that hip injury, but he had like 12 catches for like 172 yards last week, so don't pay attention to that. Juju's looking like he's going to be a game time decision. James Conner was on the injury report, but now he's off, so he's good. Edelman has been limited all week with his chest rib injury, probably just trying to take it easy. Josh Gordon has like a knee injury. He's been limited all week in practice. John Ross, yeah, pretty sure. He's on IR. Tyrell Williams did not practice Friday. He's looking like a game time decision. Terry McLaurin, he's been practicing limitedly all week. He's said to be 50-50. Michael Gallup is said to be good to go after being off a few weeks. Mike Williams said he's good to go. Jamal Williams for the Packers did not practice all week. He's probably out as well. Devil Singletary practiced Friday, so he possibly could play. Rick Burkhead is limited. I mean, if he plays, he's always injured. Vance McDonald did not practice. He might be out again. And then both of the Washington tight ends are out. I forget who their third tight end is. He has like some weird last names, like Skittles or something. I don't even know. Hilton and Mack are both questionable. Paris Campbell's already out. So this Colts offense is looking really, really hurt. And then yeah, the last Monday night game, Tevin Coleman is questionable. He possibly could come back this week.
Man, I would love for my boy Tevin Coleman to come back. I traded for him after week or before week one started, and then that's it. So I've been, I got Breeder too, so I was lucky, but man, it's crazy. All right, well, let's go into our first game of the week, man.
Yeah, the Baltimore Ravens at the Pittsburgh Steelers over under 45.5, and they have the Ravens winning by 3.5. Um, I don't care what we saw on Monday. Pittsburgh is trash. They're going to lose this game by at least 10.
I guess I think it's gonna be a good fantasy day for both teams. Honestly, I'm pretty much interested in see can they start targeting Juju because he's nowhere near the pace he was on last year. Granted, he don't have Big Ben, but I mean, he's not getting the ball. You think the coaches will try to get him more involved? He's the best player on the team, so I don't see why he wouldn't. And they have reports about him getting more targets, so I'm definitely trying to buy low on Juju in a couple leagues because I do think he might turn it around. He might get Marlon Humphreys this week, and you saw Marlon Humphrey versus OBJ. He might get choked out. So and shut out with 0. So I don't know. I guess I can see Pittsburgh hanging around. My only thing I don't like about Pittsburgh was last week they was doing all this Wildcats on Monday Night Football with Jalen Samuels, and I mean it was cute, I guess, but in a game where you can prepare Mason Rudolph and throw the ball down the field, why don't you just sling it around against the Bengals and get ready for a real game, a real opponent in the Baltimore Ravens? Because after what Baltimore happened to them last week, I don't think Baltimore are going to lay down and lay around against Pittsburgh Steelers. They're coming. They're probably mad, especially getting blown out like they did last week. And I'm leaning. I think Pittsburgh could win the game, but I'm gonna lean Baltimore. They're the more talented team, healthier, better quarterback, better everything really.
Yeah, I don't really see how Pittsburgh gets going in this game. Like the only person I'll consider playing from this Pittsburgh team at all is James Conner. I got it in I forget which league. It's one of our redraft league. I got sent a trade today the other day. Juju got traded in that league already. Uh
Yeah.
for AJ Brown, which yeah, that you take that. But the same guy tried to trade me Juju for Cortland Sutton and I didn't take it. I'm not like
Hmm.
I don't like Juju. Like Mason Rudolph, he's passing it literally like what's his average yard per his A dot? Isn't it
It's
like
not.
it's it's like
They're
3
not. They're
yards.
not. Yeah. They're not throwing it deep. Yeah. And that
It's
was the Steelers' offense last year.
yeah, it's just too slow for me. I really don't like it. I yeah, if it's not James Conner, I'm not going to Pittsburgh and like I have Lamar Jackson as a lock, and then
Yeah.
as a floor, and then
Lamar.
I don't know who to go as a pass catcher because I can't even trust Mark Andrews anymore because he's been battling that foot injury.
You can't trust Andrews, can't trust Hollywood Brown anymore because they've been both of them been coming down tremendously since that Miami game. Um, Miles Boykin, he's been scoring. Mark Ingram, they just got a lot of people, and the safest bet is always go Lamar Jackson. If Connor, he's a little banged up. If he for some reason doesn't play, do you like Samuels?
No, Connor's off the injury report. Connor's good.
Okay, he's off. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got a comment from a Ravens fan. He says a turnaround game, which definitely will be because I mean, like I said, you can't get blown out like that by the Browns. Even though the game was really close until Mark Ingram fumbled, so it really wasn't as bad as the score seemed. But there's no way they play like that because Lamar was pretty bad and the defense that usually doesn't happen. So I'm not going to count on that again. So yeah, the Pittsburgh probably going down, but we've seen stranger things happen in this AFC North. So
Yeah, and the Steelers really can't stop any pass catchers. So if you like a pass catcher from this team, play him. Just play him. The upside is there.
yeah. Moving right along.
Whew. So yeah, the Chicago Bears at the Oakland Raiders. This game is in London. So yeah, over under it's 41, and yeah, Chicago's favored by 5.5. So this is all I have written for this game. I have locks, Allen Robinson, ceiling, or okay, I'll skip ceiling for now. So locks, Robinson, floor, Darren Waller, ceiling, everyone else. It does.
Not you absolutely right. Waller has been dominant. I think it's something with that tight end system because Jared Cook was the top five, tight end in the league last year. Now he's not anything in New Orleans, and Waller all of a sudden who didn't play tight end. I think it's like his first season really playing tight end, and he one of the best players in at his position. I wrote down in this game, anything can happen. When people go to London,
It doesn't
it
matter.
it doesn't. You don't know what the hell's going to happen. All I know is the Bears defense is going to suffocate Derek Carr. Khalil Matt's going to sack Derek Carr. They're best friends, but probably not this Sunday. Um, I got A Rob as a lock. What about do you see Montgomery? Do you see his carries has been going up? He has been playing more of the running back snaps. Mike Davis is not playing anymore, so do you see Montgomery being the floor? Because if they are up in this game, you got to think what happened last week against Minnesota. They started running the ball. He had over 20 carries.
You can definitely think about putting Montgomery as a floor play. I'm definitely starting him in one of our leagues because I got injuries out the wazoo this week apparently.
It's
And
a lot of injuries.
yeah, it's just I don't know. Just watching the game film, I haven't. Besides that first game, I haven't seen really big plays come out of David Montgomery that I've liked the scene.
Now, this is a game I'm not going to bet on because I'm not going to trust Chase Daniels. My bad. Chase Daniel. Stupid. To score. I mean, because it was 4.5 and they moved the line up. I mean, I said on Twitter, I was like, Chase Daniels, when he came in the game, I was more scared against Chase Daniels than I was Mitch, and that was because the opportunities Mitch would give you to, turn the ball over. He tried to make a play with his legs and do something crazy. You got a chance to make a play on it. Chase Daniels take the more safe, precautionary route. That's why A Rob is going to be a lot because he's going to hike the ball, boom, boom, throw it out and get it to the playmakers. Because you see, Cohen finally did something last week. Williams in with Gabriel being out, he was playing good football. So I don't really know about this Bears offense besides A Rob and possibly Montgomery, but on the Raiders side, I mean Derek Carr has been pretty efficient all year, and he playing this great defense for Chicago. Do you think he can still? I mean, like even if it's like a route or something, do you think he can like get the garbage buckets? Because I need Waller to go off. I need I need him to get touchdowns for me.
I mean, has Darren Waller got a touchdown all year? I don't think he
No, because
has.
last week I thought it was Waller. I was like, let's go. It was Moreau. I was like, come on, man. That just killed me, man.
Oh no, I can't really trust anyone besides Darren Waller in this Oakland offense, and
Yeah.
that's just based off volume. Like I just need 5 catches for 50 yards for my tight end, and that's a great day. Um, I don't know, man. I don't. It's in London. I don't like this game at all because yeah, both offensive suck. One, and then they're facing the best defense in the league. It's just hard to. I'm staying away from this game. Period.
Oh, definitely. Um, Oh, let's move right along to the one of the worst game. Oh man, this is a terrible game.
Okay, all right, yeah. So it's probably
It's
going to be a terrible game, but this might be a great fantasy game.
yeah, right. I'm with you 100%. I mean, you got two teams who can't stop anything. um, the Cincinnati Bengals is like they can't run the ball on offense. But you're playing a team who's susceptible to the run, so something got to give there. And then the Bengals, they look good week 1, 2 passing the ball, but the last few weeks died off. There's no John Ross anymore. AJ Green still banged up. I mean, do we see Eifert, the tight ends against Arizona, always go off? Do we see Eifert, but he don't get the volume like the other tight ends got? Tyler Boyd, man, they had him blocking last week. That's enough right there. That's
Yeah,
enough.
their whole game plan was like what I don't know what they
I
were
don't know.
doing against Pittsburgh. Like they were trying to run the ball. I'm over here like, why are you trying to do this? Um, honestly, no, Eifert's definitely a ceiling play for me. Targeting the tight end against Arizona is always definitely a way to go this year. But I feel like having Boyd in that slot role, or honestly, to fill like Boyd can fill that in the middle role, but to fill that big body tight end role, like you, especially with John Ross out, like you can't look past Alden Tate, bro.
I got him starting the lead this week. I got to put him out there.
Oh I might start him
now,
over Mike Williams in Dynasty.
now the only thing I'm worried about is I think Pat Pete is back from his suspension. Do we see anybody? Do you see him shadow anybody, or he just gonna just whoever come to this side probably? I
Yeah,
mean,
I think it's just more whoever comes to the side. I really don't think there's really a reason for them
mm,
to why who are they going to shadow? Tyler Boyd? Like he plays the slot. That's going to open things up on the outside of the field, and I just that's not the way to go.
yeah, Arizona giving up 27.8 per game to tight ends. Uh, I mean, I don't mind throwing Eifert as a dart and just seeing. I mean, they haven't stopped it in 4 weeks. Why we think something gonna change now?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like that's it's not well, they're horrible against tight end, the worst in the league, absolutely. But that number is a little bit kind of skewed just because they did play the Ravens and they have three tight ends. So if it's about a per game basis,
Yeah,
if
that's
those
true.
three tight ends have 100 yards like all together, then it's yeah.
I mean, probably all three of those tight ends was probably the same what Greg Olsen did to them. So I mean,
Yeah,
so who knows?
Greg Olsen destroyed them.
But
One thing, David Johnson, I'm playing him every
yep,
lineup,
I was
every
about to say Cincinnati gives up the most points to fantasy running backs, and you got to think this is not a running back who's just dual, or
yeah.
he can do two things at once. He can run the ball or catch the ball. So I don't see how Cincinnati can stop him. They couldn't stop James Conner last week. Carson went crazy week 1. Who was Bengals played? Team slipped my mind. Oh, McCaffrey, of course. Not McCaffrey. Buffalo. And yeah, Frank Gore went crazy. So it's kind of play him. David Johnson is a lot. You can't go wrong with that. No Christian Kirk in this game, as you mentioned, the injuries. So Larry and Kyler Murray, do they take a hit? Do you bring them really in just slightly, because the rest of the guys on the receivers hasn't panned out. They drafted 3 receivers this draft, and Isabella hasn't done anything. Keyshawn so little flashes. They got rid of Crabtree after like a couple games. Did you mention Demir Bird? Is he back, or because he was out last week?
Yeah,
So,
I saw that. I'm trying to.
but
I
see,
saw
but
him.
see,
I
but
think
see,
he
does it
might.
matter? Does it matter that is Bengals that bad that it probably won't matter? Because Larry
Well,
Fitzgerald.
the way I look at it is Fitz is a lock no matter what because he's
Mm,
the only one there. He's going to get that volume, and then without Kirk, I actually have Kyler Murray as like a floor play because
mm,
that caps that big playability that Christian Kirk
right,
can bring.
right, and same thing we were talking about earlier with like Lamar Jackson got so many options. That's why he always going to be a lock. He got so many people who make plays. While this game right here in a great matchup with Kyler Murray, especially a game where he can be, they can win this game. They probably will win this game, but it does capsize you a little bit. David Johnson and Larry Fitzgerald are probably going to be a lot of my DraftKings lineups this week because I mean Cincinnati just can't stop anything.
Yeah, I like DJ a lot this week in DraftKings. I like Tyler Boyd too. I don't know if Tyler Boyd's caught a touchdown all season yet either. That I mean, people can't be due for touchdowns, but hey, if you have a gut feeling, take it. And then yeah, Auden Tate is $3,500 on DraftKings. Like you can
Oh,
just
definitely.
you can stack your whole lineup and then throw Auden Tate in there, and yep, him and
Mm-hmm.
and Bucks defense.
Yes, sir. Next game, man.
All right, so the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Carolina Panthers over under 41, 3.5 to the home team, the Panthers. I'm taking the under on this one. This game is going to be like 12-7.
Yeah, it's gonna be the same thing you saw Carolina against Houston last week. Carolina's gonna keep everything in front of them. So my boy DJ Chark, I don't see you getting any big plays this week. Bradbury played great against D Hop last week, and if they're gonna put Bradbury on DJ Chark, that kind of stopped that a little bit. Will Fuller couldn't get nothing downfield. Kenny Stills. So Jacksonville's being a limit. As far as throwing the ball deep with Minshew. I'm not really, I'm kind of scaled back a little bit. Carolina has been playing great defense all season long. Of course, on the other side, my boy Christian McCaffrey. The running backs really both of them I think are going to have great games this week. Fournette, oh my gosh, 200 plus yards last week. McCaffrey is due for 30 fantasy points a week. I mean, you can't go wrong with either one of those two. The defenses, I mean, as far as DraftKings wise, I think I'm going to take a shot on, with Carolina or Jacksonville because they have that. They're not going to score a lot of points, and they have the opportunity to turn the ball over because Kyle Allen, 3 turnovers last week. I mean, he finished with like 3 fantasy points, and they still won the game. So it's kind of crazy. And outside of that, maybe Greg Olsen. I got all receivers as a ceiling play, like both teams. Cause I
Yeah,
don't, you know.
yeah, absolutely. Especially, and I have the way I'm looking at it is I have the Carolina guys have a little bit of a higher ceiling because Jalen Ramsey is actually out again. So
Okay.
um, it's still not going to open up anything. Yeah, Christian McCaffrey and I like Leonard Fournette a lot this week too. They're both locks. And then Greg Olson is the floor play, and I'm not I'm not playing anyone else. I
I'm about,
might play Westbrook. I might play him, and that would be it.
I just made a trade for D.D. Westbrook in our dynasty league. I traded Cam Newton away. I mean, I got Dak in the trade a week ago, so I was like, well, let me turn to somebody I can play. So, D.D. Westbrook. So yeah, that's not a bad. He's still a target machine. So we'll see if he can. Probably won't get it this week, but this game will be low scoring. I will take the under on this one. 3.5 points. Are you taking Carolina? Or are you taking Jacksonville?
I'm just going to ride off the home team, man. I'm just going to go to Panthers.
That's solid. This game,
Yeah.
man. Oh
Yep.
my gosh, do we need a back? Do we need a bounce back game, my lord? Because
Yep.
that was terrible last week against Chicago Bears. 16-6. The defense kept us in it. Offense couldn't do nothing. Now you got turmoil between the receivers and Diggs getting fined now because it's missing practices and is he gonna get traded? They said he is playing. He is playing.
He's active.
Um, I picked up Kirk Cousins in our redraft league. Now, Josh Allen's in concussion protocol. Maybe I may not play. And Jimmy G gets the Cleveland Browns, who Cleveland Browns played pretty good the last 2 weeks defensively. So I was kind of nervous a little bit, especially with a team that's run first anyway. So I picked up Kirk Cousins on this hint alone. Usually when he has a terrible game and he's getting ridiculed in the media at least half the year he always bounces back with a great performance, or at least a good performance. And this is the time to do it. The Giants are, I think, 31st or 30th against the quarterback, not against quarterback, against the pass this season. So when you got Thielen, you got who and Diggs with Janoris Jenkins can't guard nobody, and DeAndre Baker can't guard anybody. You got to think this is the game that the coaches are going to let out the frustration from the receivers and get them more involved. Still believe in Dalvin Cook, always believe in Dalvin Cook because we still want to run the ball. But I just feel like they have to show something. They have because Thielen said it last week. You can't just be a one-dimensional team. because it's going to hurt Thielen and Diggs' value, and Kyle Rudolph's and anybody else on that team throughout the whole season. And we can go cook all day, but when you see last week, yes, they got garbage buckets, but I mean, before that, Cook did nothing, and you were disappointed, if you played Cook anywhere until the end. So it's kind of like you want Cousins and you want Thielen to get going, because that opens up the lane for Cook, more and more. So that's my little spiel on that. But I got a little theory. I think Kirk Cousins is going to be fine, and Thielen and Day is going to kind of right the ship this week. It won't solve all the problems, but against the Giants, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, I just don't understand why you guys would pass on such a crappy team. Like if you guys run the whole game, do you guys lose?
Nope.
If you put the ball in Kirk Cousins' hands, can you lose?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
but look, you gotta think of this though. Just like I talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers, why I'm not that they won, but I'm not worried about them, is because they didn't try to work on their game when they could. Like they up 21-3 all game long. Bengals is trying to run the clock out. Let's work on our game, and I feel like this could be the game where because who cares about running up the score no more? Teams don't really run up the score, but it's like let's work on things in game to work, to work out the kinks. I mean, you put things on film, but you're just trying to do something, and that's I can understand what you're saying though, but it's like I don't know, man. He always bounces back. Just like against the Raiders, he had a beautiful pass to Thielen, and he looked good until he played Chicago. So on the Giants end, Golden Tate is back. The Yak Monster has returned from a 4-game suspension. And I am scared because he is the Vikings killer. Whether it was Detroit, when he was in Seattle, it didn't matter. Golden Tate's a problem, and this only helps Daniel Jones. Do I see a big game for Daniel Jones? Probably not. But you add Golden Tate, Shepard, and Evan Ingram. I mean, and when Saquon comes back, this offense can. This can be a fantasy offense that you bet money on every weekend. I think Golden Tate will have a good game back. Shepard, Evan Ingram probably will, because we can't stop tight ends. But I definitely think Golden Tate will have a good game. What do you think about Wayne Gallman? You think I know he's not Saquon. He's not Saquon, but he did get passing game work though.
Yeah, I don't. I can't. I'm not going Wayne Gallman this week. Your guys' run defense is way too good for me, and if it's going to be those dump off passes, it's going to be the Evan Ingram for me, and I have him as a lock. One thing we need to discuss, and this is it's kind of weird. So I'm going to say this now: if you have Sterling Shepard, trade him away, because Sterling Shepard did 80% of his snaps were in the slot. And
It's Golden Tate spot.
who's now filling the slot? Golden Tate. So if you trust Shepard on the outside, take the chance. But if I was me, I'm trading him away in every league.
You know what's going to happen a couple of times. I think when they come out of the huddle, they're going to line up in the same spot.
both sides. Or they're going to stack them on top of each other.
Yep. And to say both of y'all be in the slot because we can't stop it. Put Latimer on the other side.
I mean, Latimer can do that. He's that big playability. You have to watch out for that every week.
Yeah,
but then where does that leave Evan Ingram if they're both in? Like, you're just going to run everything through the middle of the field? I'm just going to play.
Hey, that's probably the best option, because I mean, that's crazy though, because you pay Shepard, and when you pay a receiver, in my opinion, I mean, obviously you have your Edelmans and you have your Golden Tates of the world and Wes Walker, who needs to be in the slot, but Shepard is a bigger body, so I would want him to be able to play everywhere on the field. So he needed to be able to be successful. Xavier Rhodes didn't look good against Allen Robinson, but also the game plan, they was off like 10 yards, and short passes were killing him. So I don't know if Sterling Shepard can do anything this week, but I definitely like Golden Tate, because it don't matter what team he's on. Like I said, we can't stop him. So it will be interesting to see where they line up. I will be at the game, so I'm gonna tell you, okay, they both be in the slot at the same time.
All right, I definitely need that information. And then I actually have your boy Adam Thielen. You like this passing game this week. I just don't think that's in like you guys are going to run the ball again, 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 especially since against this garbage team. But yeah, I mean, if they really want Kirk to have like a test game where he goes out there and like, okay, we can win this game in the second half, it's this game. So you definitely could be right.
But see, and the reason why we gotta do the opposite of what Pittsburgh did because Pittsburgh at Baltimore this week. We have Eagles next week. Eagles is a good run team. Gotta be a pass ball because they can't stop the pass. So let's work on it. You know, that's my goal for them. So
You would definitely have to do that. So y'all play the Eagles next week. Oh, I'm playing Kirk Cousins. Oh.
all right, from my team to your team, man.
All right, so yeah, the New England Patriots at the Washington Redskins, 42 and a half. We're projected to win by over 2 touchdowns. For me personally, uh, you think they're going to get Brady going, but it's hard to say. But I have Shoney Michelle as my lock. Just he might have
Whew.
three. He might it might be his 3 touchdown week, but like you can't legislate that at all. So
Washington is
trash.
tied for fifth against the quarterbacks with the Giants. Um, Against quarterbacks. So I mean, it's possible that Tom Brady could go off, and that's what I said. My theory was, he played poorly against the Buffalo Bills, and to right that shit because now people will say, "Oh, Brady look 42 years old now." They're gonna do something. They're gonna do. I mean, they can do anything they want. They can close their eyes and they really can put Jared Stidham out there and win this game. That's how bad the Washington Redskins is. So with that being said, they can just throw slants and stuff all day long, make Brady look amazing. That way, okay, Brady still got it. Which I mean, he's obviously still got it, but it's like you don't want him to have that kind of bad game, and you know, people start talking, and he got to show y'all again, which he will probably anyway. I'm just scared of the running game just because I don't know what running back's going to do what. Like you got so many running backs now. Brandon Bolden wants to play the whole game. Like he plays too much for my sake.
I mean,
They
that
got
could
they got
change this week though. That it's the
that's
Patriots running
true.
back. It's always changing. You got to find the guy you want that week and just go with it. I feel the reason I feel like we're gonna run this game is like you said, we can do whatever we want. And I feel like if we decide to pass, if we decide to be like more aggressive in this game, that like the worst thing that can happen is like we get injuries. And with Edelman banged up, Gordon banged up, Burkhead banged up, I just think we're gonna go into this game. We're gonna run the ball. We're gonna waste a ton of the time on the clock, and we're we're just gonna go home with a win and just get ready for next week.
And that's why as bad as the Washington Redskins are, I'm not going to take this game. I'm not going to bet this game because you want to worry about your defense and run the ball. And if you're up 21 and then Redskins get a bullcrap
Touchdown.
touchdown,
We
you
won
lose your
seven.
money.
Yeah,
Right.
that's it.
So for that reason, I'm definitely not going to go to New England Patriots. But on the Redskins side, they're starting Colt McCoy. They listen to me complain to not start Haskins. Do not do that to that man after you did what you did to him last week.
You're
Don't
trash
start
too.
him. Yeah, let Colt McCoy go out there. Do nothing. Terry. Well, ESPN coming up with Mike Clay start calling him F1 instead because Scary Terry belongs to Rozier, saying he fast like a jet or
Okay.
something. It made more sense if he was on the Jets, but still, they trying to give him a nickname because anyway, he's 50-50. No other pass catchers surprise me. I mean, the projection for the other receivers are pretty high just because of the garbage buckets. So you could throw Paul Richardson out there. He might be sorry for the first three quarters, but quarter number 4, he might 8 catches, 80 yards. So it's possible. So I mean, I like Chris Thompson in this game as well for that reason. Get me some garbage buckets because I think no game this year he got under 48 yards receiving. So you got to think 5 to 6 catches, 48 yards. That's a good day from a running back. Let alone what he gets from the running game. So this is New England who's number one in every position. So that's
Yeah, I mean, I have Chris Thompson as a floor play for that exact reason is those garbage buckets. One question I have. So yeah, you can't really predict the running back. You just have to go with who you want. But So Edelman, Josh Gordon, and Philip Dorsett. Who gets the most points this week?
My boy Dorsett. Hey, I got him. Hey, I picked him up in the league. I want to play him so bad when my receivers are so good, and I'm like, man, I know Dorsett going to go off. I'm gonna hurt my not hurt myself, but I'm gonna kick myself in the kick myself in the foot if I can't if I don't play him and he goes off.
Mm-hmm.
I got Larry against Cincinnati. I got Mike Evans against the Saints. I just can't see myself taking them out for Dorsett.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I feel like I said, Redskins, they can do anything they want. Or the Patriots can do anything they want against the Redskins. Dorsett has been seen to be the deep threat of this team. I think Josh Gordon is playing the Gronk role, and Edelman is playing Edelman, of course. So Dorsett, if Tom Brady catches him, the Redskins have been getting torched all season long by the deep ball, and that's Dorsett's role. So
Yeah.
I definitely can see Dorsett.
That's why I'm going with Josh Gordon. I feel like he's gonna reprise his role, even with a knee injury. I just like Josh Gordon this week.
Yeah, Josh Gordon's a beast, man. That's what it is.
All right. So from
No.
one blowout to another. So the New York Jets and the Philadelphia Eagles over under 44, 14 and a half to the Eagles. Um yeah, so Ertz, Wentz, Le'Veon Bell, Locks, Jameson Crowder is a floor play for me. I hope he catches like 8 balls for like 80 yards and a touchdown. That'd be great. Um Anyone else? I'm not playing anyone else. Jets are really, really good against the run, not playing Sanders Howard. Don't want to play 57-year-old Darren Sproles. The only other person I really like that I would go for their ceiling is Alshon Jeffries, just because he always has that touchdown ceiling at any game.
Yeah, I looked at maybe I understand what you're saying about the run game, and when I watched them against the Packers last week, they made it an effort to put two tight ends on the field, Ertz and Goddard. That kind of opened up the passing game because the running and passing game because when you play action, you you got so many people out there. We're not capable to stop that unless we put linebackers out there. So if you put corners out there, we can run the ball all day long with Jordan Howard, or we can play action. You can't stop Ertz; he's always open. You can't stop Jeffrey because big body unless you got. Jets ain't got nobody who can stop him. So I'm not really saying that the running game's out. Obviously, I'm not. I'm scared to play it, but if you have Jordan Howard or you have Miles Sanders, don't be scared to play him unless you got other options. But yes, the Jets do have a good run defense. But I feel like they're going to go two tight end sets to one protect Carson Wentz because you seen last week, like the offense looked so much better when they had Jeffrey, Goddard, and Ertz on the field together. Like imagine when Deshaun Jackson comes back. I hope he out next week against the Vikings, but that's just for my sake. But but for me, but you already know he's gonna play just because I want it. The game is going to be so opened up. The Eagles offense is going to be so much better next week when Deshaun comes back. But I saw something different from week 1 through 3 versus last week, and the Jets. They're going to get carved up every slice, every way. I feel bad for Le'Veon Bell, but then again, I don't. Going to the Jets. He knew better. Even with Darnold there.
Yeah, Eagles defense might have that slate breaking performance with Luke
I
Falk.
picked Eagles. I picked Eagles up in the fantasy league as well. So I was headed that curve. I got them last week for this game.
Hey, go get Chris Herndon. He come back next week.
Yeah. When him and Sam Darnold can get together, that's gonna be a problem.
It definitely is. And then yeah, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the New Orleans Saints. Yeah,
I
so
love this game.
47 -3 at the New Orleans. I'm taking the under.
Taking the under.
Personally, I'm taking the under.
Well,
Um,
Saints not scoring that many points, so
exactly.
yeah.
I don't think Saints are scoring many points. Um, I really and then I can't trust Winston against this secondary to make plays like he did last week and not
Well,
make mistakes.
the last 2 seasons, Tampa Bay always give New Orleans problems. They beat them last year in New Orleans.
Open
I think it was in New Orleans, and that was a crazy game
week
to start the
one.
season.
The whole, like you literally stacked that whole game and you won $1 million like that. That shit was crazy.
Yeah, so you talking about Bruce Arians here now. a team that's going to be balanced. Rojo finally showed he playing more than Barber, so I expect them to be balanced. And if they can keep this lead for a while, because I'm not scared of the Saints, because the Buccaneers struggle. Saw last week against the deep pass against Jared Goff and all them.
Saints have
But
the worst
right.
schedules.
And Buccaneers want to stop the run. You can look at all the stats. You can look at everything you want to look at. McCaffrey, Gurley.
You you can
They
see you can see it on the game film. Like their game plan is to either going to rush your quarterback or we're going to stop the run. And they're and then they're just going to like your quarterback has to beat us, and they're going to do the same thing because I do not trust Teddy Bridgewater.
and you see against Carolina, make your quarterback beat us. No sir, not Cam Newton. Against the Rams, Gurley or Goff? Who do you rather run? I'd rather have you throw the ball with
Yep.
Goff.
Yep.
And then it's going to be the same thing this week. Kamara, or would you rather have Teddy Bridgewater? I'd rather have Teddy Bridgewater throwing the ball all day long. So, and you got to think about the Tampa Bay, like you're saying, they're just as good as the New England Patriots against the running back. So if we're saying don't start running backs against the Patriots, exactly. So, but it's like, but because of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you're like, oh, they can't do nothing.
Yeah.
No, they're going to start the run. They're going to blitz Teddy Bridgewater. And I'm gonna tell you right now, man, I'm all in on Tampa Bay this week. Defensively, winning the game, everything. I'm on the Buccaneers side, and the reason why, a main reason why, is think about how the Saints won the last two games. Defense, the fumbles, and the offense, the special team touchdowns. The offense is not doing anything. At some point, the defense is not going to score every week for you, or not going to put you in a position every week. Something's going to give up, and when that happens, can the Saints do it? I'm not betting on Teddy Bridgewater. And like I said, Michael Thomas is not a guy who goes deep. Whenever you ever see Michael Thomas 40-yard catch, like you don't
maybe a 40-yard reception, but he
right.
caught it like 12 yards deep. Yeah.
Right. It ran for the rest. So with that being said, I'm not worried about the Teddy to Ted getting connection. I'm not worried about Michael Thomas going deep. And with that being said, the Buccaneers can stay in this game, and that's why I think they can win it. That's why I like Jameis. I really like everybody on the Buccaneers side, maybe outside of OJ Howard. But Godwin, Evans, can there be a game where both of them do good? I mean, I guess Evans did last week that touchdown catch, but before that,
not this week.
So I don't think Marshawn definitely can't guard Mike Evans.
He definitely can't guard Mike Evans. But I feel like the only way Tampa Bay loses this game is if Jameis or someone else makes mistakes.
Yeah.
So they need to limit those mistakes, and I feel like that's either going to bode well for one wide receiver or the other, or they both just have mediocre games for like 6 catches, 60 yards.
Cause I was talking in a dynasty league with Keven, and I was like, when we play each other, that's when the Bucks going by. I was like, you lucky because I'm cheering for my boy Godwin. You got Evans, and who going to win that matchup? And because neither one of them both can go off at the same time, one of us going to lose and one of us going to win because of that. But I'm definitely all in on Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense this week. And like you said, Jameis Winston, you cannot make the mistakes because the Saints are thriving on that right now. So could the offense not give you anything, especially in fantasy?
Yep, on to the next game. This might be the game of the week. The Atlanta Falcons at the Houston Texans over 9 line 4.5 to Houston.
I'll take that over, sir.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking that over. I like Julio, D-Hop, and Watson. Does Calvin Ridley catch a touchdown this week? I think it might happen.
It might happen. I like to be honest, man. I think it really is the fourth guy on that team. Like I like Sanu and I like Hooper. Like Hooper is hooping. Like he can't be stopped right now.
He's not having the breakout season everyone wanted him to have, but he's having his best season yet, and that's all you can really hope for.
Right. So, and like I said, this game should be more Matt Ryan this time. I know people got mad at Matt Ryan again. People was in my mentions all crazy last week about Titans. I was like, Titans defense are good. What did y'all expect?
He still had he still almost had like 20 points fantasy. Like you can't Matt Ryan, like he may be like a, an okay quarterback, but he is a top 10 fantasy quarterback. Period.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Um, I mean, they were just talking about because he ain't had no touchdown passes, but I was like, you wasn't going to score. You already had 14, so you're not getting 21. Titans do not let you score 21 points. It's just what it is. um, but no, this game against Houston, though, it's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be a very high scoring. We need a game like this to where you can bet on. Will Fuller can finally get one because you got to think Watson was talking about last week was because Carolina, they keep everything in front of you. Well, we know Atlanta can't do that. So line your Texans up if you got them.
Yeah, I'm stacking this whole game, honestly.
Well, hey, do you like? Will you like Duke Johnson or Carlos Hyde? Duke Johnson helped me get my first dynasty win this weekend with the upset alert over Dylan. I'm gonna screen record this part so you see that I beat him, beat the brakes off his 3-0 behind. Anyway, Duke Johnson or Carlos Hyde? Who do you like in this one though?
Neither.
Atlanta can't stop the run though.
I don't know. I I feel like Atlanta's going to come out firing, like, and they're bad against the run. Houston is just as bad against the pass.
That's
So
fair.
I don't know. I feel like if if either team wants to win this game, they cannot play slow. Playing slow will lose you this game. Wasting time will lose you this game. Unless you have like a substantial margin, like at least 2 touchdowns. I'm not dedicating myself to run the ball. And the Texans really don't utilize their running backs like that anyway. So it's hard to legislate where you want to go, and they're both touchdown dependent for me because I don't see DJ catching those balls like that either.
Would you spend up? Play Auden Tate, play somebody else the cheap option, but would you try to spend up to make sure you can get Julio and D Hop in one lineup with the Auden Tate?
No,
You wouldn't do that. Too much
no,
money.
because I don't see the upside is definitely there, but I don't know if the floor is there because I'm not worried about the money when I'm going all in take. But just for me, when I'm building my lineups this week, definitely going to have D Hop and Julio in some lineups, but
Just not together.
but where I'm spending most of my money is I'm either going Dalvin Cook or Ezekiel Elliott, and then I'm pairing them with David Johnson every single time, and then I'm just going to punt it from there.
Hey, Lynn, remember I texted you last. I was like, man, I want to go McCaffrey so bad. You was like, do it. I was like, I'm scared. I should have did it. I should have did it. I should have did
It's
it.
just like it's so hard to like McCaffrey gets the volume, but if you want this to keep going with him, you are expecting him to catch 10 passes as a
Yeah.
running back every game.
Well, you got to think it's all about volume. That and fantasy is more volume than talent, honestly. So I mean, granted, the most talented players be the fantasy winners, but if you get the volume, is always there. I think Julio Jones, and D Hop volume has gone down because then it's not a knock against them. You added Kenny Stills, Will Fuller is healthy. Duke Johnson can do stuff in the passing game. They can run the ball now with Carlos Hyde. I mean, Lamar Miller was pretty solid too, but Carlos Hyde looks a little better than what Lamar Miller did. So, and Kiki's there, so you got more people. Atlanta, Matt Ryan doesn't just force it to Julio all day long anymore. Even though they can't run the ball, he likes Hooper, he likes Ridley, he likes Sanu. So I can understand why not to go both of them. But I was just asking. So maybe do you see like a D Hop Sanu pairing or a Julio Wolf Fuller playing this? Do you see something like that?
We'll talk. I mean, in my league, I definitely have D Hop and Ridley, so
Ooh, okay. Ooh.
it's I'm you got to target this game. And I'm targeting the passing from the game. I'm not going any running backs, which probably could be a bad thing, just because like especially if these teams are moving the ball like, and they're not really inching it down the field, but they're making plays to get down the field, and it's just one of those days where both teams get on the goal line, run it in. Deshaun Watson,
Yeah,
run it in. It's
it's gonna be a run
that's
in by Edo Smith.
That's the one
Center.
thing. That's the one thing bad about fantasy. It's definitely it's as the real games are. It's very touchdown dependent. So
Yeah. One high scoring game to very very low scoring game.
okay.
3-6.
So yeah, definitely going to under. Buffalo at Tennessee over under 38.5 -3 to Tennessee. I don't have a single lock in this game. And then I have a floor play of Derrick Henry and Delaney Walker, and then ceiling I put everyone else. I didn't even type their names out. I just put everyone else.
Frank Gore could be a unless Singletary's back officially. He's been questionable all week, but reason I said it because I don't think Tennessee gets up in this game to where Buffalo can't run the ball, and that's why you got to always think about the game. Always think about the game script about what teams want to do. Both teams want to run the ball. Both teams want to play good defense. You're going to see the exact same thing probably saw last week with Buffalo and New England. You're going to see the same thing. The only thing about Tennessee and the same thing about Atlanta is they're wild card teams. Like Atlanta could easily got blown out at home against Tennessee and could easily beat the two Texans this week. Tennessee blew out Atlanta last week. Easily can get it behind by Buffalo. It just they're the teams like that, and that's why you can't play Frank Gore because Buffalo's not getting blown out. That's not gonna happen.
Okay.
So unless Barkley, it's gonna even turn the ball over. You saw last week the Patriots could load Buffalo Bills out, and Adam just giving. He just said, "Here, take the ball, McCourty. You
Yeah.
got you know."
Josh
And
Allen
Patriots,
couldn't even be there this week.
exactly. But you got to think though, they're probably going to game. They couldn't game plan for Matt Barkley because they didn't think Adam would be hurt like that. So I would think a better game plan for him. Probably. I mean, granted, it's a Titans, so it's not. It's like with Barkley, the receivers go up, but then because it's the matchup, they go right back down to where they were. So that's why you say play everybody else. If they were playing a defense who can't stop it, I kind of would like my the pass catchers in the game just because Matt Barkley probably is a better accurate quarterback. At least make the better decisions than Josh Allen, just like Chase Daniel did for the Bears.
Yeah, but Josh
But
Allen is definitely the more talented quarterback.
yeah, easily. Yeah, I don't. Besides Derrick Henry, Frank Gore, and Delaney, the Bills and Titans defense.
I can't. Yeah, exactly. That I was about to say. I just changed my mind. I got locks in this game. It's Buffalo defense and Tennessee defense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's not going to be high scoring at all. If somebody puts up 25 points in this game, I'm going to be totally shocked because I don't know what the hell happened. We can go skip this game. That's just that's enough of
Yeah,
that.
yeah. All right. Before we get started on this game, I want to say I am mad at the NFL.
What
Why do
happened now?
we have two 4 o'clock games? Why are you forcing me to watch Green Bay at Dallas?
Forcing you, yeah. They make it's America's team, man, and the Packers.
Okay, all right. But before that game at 4:05, that other game starts at 4:25. 4:05, the Denver Broncos at the Los Angeles Chargers over under 44.5. The Chargers are favored by 6.5. Anthony Lynn has came out and said that Austin Eckler is going to get
A lot.
majority of the work. Um, and then Gordon is going to be in like a limited role, which the way I'm looking at that is so instead of having Eckler as a lock, I have him as a floor play just because I feel like his ceiling is going to be capped just because if they're on the goal line, they're going with Melvin Gordon.
I like that. This game, I want to pay a lot of attention to because the Denver Broncos are 0-4, but I feel like they could easily be the opposite way. They easily could have been 4-0. So they're going to be they're a tough team. Even at LA, I feel like I said before the season started, the Chargers will be a pullback team, and it would not surprise me if the Denver can beat them because the Chargers defense it's been up and down without Derwin James. They still got good corners, and you never can bet on Flacco. But Sanders, Sutton, I like the running games by Freeman and Lindsay. They have both looked good this season. I mean, obviously they're playing, 50% of the snaps, but when they get the opportunities, they both have succeeded. So, I feel like I don't know. I got this urge, man. I feel like Broncos may do it, and it's still gonna be good fantasy because Chargers gonna throw the ball anyway, win or lose anyway. So Eckler, Allen, Rivers, I like them all. The Chargers still banged up. Inman on IR now. Benjamin was still banged up. And I had no receiver.
Yeah.
Mike Williams is finally back though, but
Justin Jackson is still doubtful.
so and Mike Williams finally back, and Hunter Henry has been running routes, so he should be back soon, maybe. But still, like this, Chargers offense taking so many hits. Keenan Allen had a bad game last week. Do he bounce back this week? Do he get shot up by what's his name?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Chris
What's
Harris.
his name? Chris Harris. Oh, I was about to say C.J. Anderson. I don't know what I was thinking about. Like, I knew that wasn't it. That's why I didn't say it. I was like, that's not it. But Chris Harris, though, yeah.
So the Broncos have actually been with Chris Harris this year under Nick Fangio. They've actually been they started this towards the end of last season, but they've started to shadow a lot more with Chris Harris. So I like Keenan Allen to have a big comeback game. He's gonna body Chris Harris. Keenan Allen.
You saying Chris Harris can't do nothing with Keenan Allen? Go ahead and make that bold statement right now.
Nah, I'm not gonna say that now. I'm not.
Come on, I'm trying to trap you, man. Come on, say it now so I can make a headline.
Is just unguardable. Keenan Allen is just that good, but
okay.
but nah, they're gonna if they're on that one-on-one matchup, like one-on-one matchups like that is with a receiver like Keenan Allen is always going to favor the receiver.
I mean, I like what you're saying, but it's like, do we think the same thing about why Rivers is not a good fantasy option is because he only has Keenan Allen? I mean, granted, he got Mike Williams back and he threw the ball to Eckler, but or do we say, well, he throws the ball so much it's not going to matter?
See, I don't really know, just because I don't. Is it the Chargers' game plan to come in here and pass? Like, that's always their game plan, yes, but I feel like they have the force to run more, especially with Melvin Gordon back, with how bad Denver is at running the ball. That's why Rivers is going to be capped, but Allen's the only one there he can pass to.
Yeah, and all about to say is because Denver is in the same category as Buffalo and New York versus quarterbacks, and they play Aaron Rodgers. Now they played Mitch, but who else they played? Who did they play last week? They played Derek Carr week 1.
Yep.
And Minshew. So I guess it's not a good sample size. I mean, of level quarterbacks, Rodgers the best one, obviously, but against the run, they can't stop it. They're one of the worst teams against the run. So your Eckler being a floor, I understand you saying Eckler's a floor, but as a Chargers running back group, that is a lock. That is a lock. They're going to dominate. And even like last week, Pope got a touchdown. So like it could be they're going to do something crazy. Aaron Jones had 2 touchdowns against the Broncos. Fournette runs for over 200 yards on the Broncos, so they can't stop it. And Jacobs, first game of the season, he was impressive. So Broncos have yet to stop that. No Bradley Chubb now. So for the whole rest of the season. So I mean, I can understand. I kind of talked myself out of Broncos just then. just that fast. So yeah. Broncos could keep it close. I think Broncos may cover the spread. But Chargers still going to win the game. But I like it. I'm still going to play Eckler in a lineup because he hasn't disappointed me yet. I don't see why he stopped now.
Yeah, I definitely think the Broncos keep it close in this game because they're definitely going to try to run the ball, which they can definitely do on the Chargers as well.
Yeah.
So like you said, the whole Chargers group is a lock. I have the whole Denver running back group as a floor play. Whichever one, so Freeman is going to catch the passes if they're behind. If you like that game script, then go with him. They're going to run the ball a lot. It's still going to be split, but you're going to favor Lindsey a bit more. If you like any of the running backs in this game and you need like a safer play in one of your leagues, I mean, you can just say, man, I'm just going to throw them in. They're going to be down. They're going to try to run, keep it slow, stay in the game.
Yeah. Let's go to the only other 4:00 game, apparently. Thanks, NFL. Green Bay at Dallas. Dallas -3.5. Over under 47. Every time Green Bay and Dallas play, it is a good game. So I hope so. I expect so because I can't watch anything else. So Dallas, do they bounce back from the Green Bay Packers? The Packers are not good against 12 personnel. Last week they got destroyed by Ertz and Goddard together. The Vikings played 12 against them with Kyle Rudolph and Irv Smith or blocking tight end. Dalvin Cook went crazy. Jordan Howard went crazy. The Cowboys like to go three receivers a lot. Um, so I would definitely was going to be all in on the Cowboys, but against the Saints, they was trying to spread them out and still run the ball. It didn't work. I don't know if it works against Green Bay like that, but if they can get Blake Jarwin and Jason Witten together on the field at the same time and run the ball with Dak, especially with no Tyron Smith, I would definitely have Zeke in every single lineup. There's no questions about it. I'm skipping the quarterback line on DraftKings and go straight to running back and putting in Zeke tier. If he was in there, I'll put him in Zeke. I would go him everywhere I can, because Green Bay Packers cannot stop the run. That just we've seen it, we know it. Do you think Gallup? Outside of that, Gallup is back. Does that make Dak more appealing, or are you still just avoiding him and just going Zeke?
So I have Dak as a forward play because I think it's definitely going to be a Zeke game. But with Michael Gallup coming back, I have Amari Cooper as a lock. I feel like that's going to open up like
Mm-hmm.
opportunities for him more to make bigger plays and be the up and down player we know him as. But he definitely, like we were talking about in week one, he has a safer floor now than he did back when he was in Oakland. And yeah, I like Amari Cooper a lot in this game just because I like you said, the Green Bay is bad against the run, but the Dallas isn't really that good either at the run. And then Aaron Jones is all by himself in that backfield. So what do you think about Aaron Jones?
Well, like I said earlier, it's volume over the talent. So he gonna be out there the whole time. He got to do something, right? And then especially with having Aaron Rodgers, no Devontae Adams, what are they gonna lean on?
Marquez Valdez Scantling,
Oh,
Geronimo Allison,
Geronimo, Jimmy,
Jake Jake Kumaro, who like
man,
it's
Aaron Rodgers got to throw the ball to himself.
he gonna Aaron, Aaron Rodgers gonna look at the other side of the field, and be like Randall Cobb, come back.
Come back, please. I need you. I need you. Nah, for real though. But we talk about Green Bay against running backs. I'm gonna tell you two teams that's worse: the Bengals and the Dolphins, and then it's the Packers.
Yep.
So that's all you need. That's all you need to know about. So Zeke is the play. They're at home. You got to think a bounce back performance. Oh, eat, yes sir. But yes, especially with Gallup back, the offense is going to be back to where it should be, because relying on Devin Smith for one game, okay, two or three, nah, not so much. So he's back. Cooper's back. Jason Witten, you got all these guys, all the options. And if they spread you out, you have to be scared of Gallup. So Zeke's going to carve them up. Packers may take a step back just because of no Devontae Adams, because
They will.
I mean they don't really have.
Devontae
I mean
Adams.
nobody really emerged as number two. Devontae Adams is so good that they didn't really need a number two. That's kind of how it was. So
So is
I don't
Devontae
know.
Adams a top three wide receiver or no?
I would say no.
He's number four, but
I would say I don't think he's top three. I don't think he's top four. As far as real football, like
so
fantasy, he's top five. Like
D
does he
Hop,
get touchdowns? I
Julio,
would I
Mike
would say yeah.
and then who else?
Yeah, Michael Thomas. I would say Thielen, and I would say Odell Beckham.
Okay, all right. I
But I
guess
think
talent wise, you have to put OBJ in there, but it's
because I'm thinking more of like any system. Yeah, because everybody got different scenarios. Because if I say Thielen is the top five receiver right now, people are like, oh no, he can't be, blah blah. If you watch Thielen versus receivers, he's open like immediately.
every
Just
time.
because his quarterback don't give him the ball, yeah, I mean that's just what it
It
is,
sure doesn't
Like yeah, but yeah. Anyway, but I mean, Devon Adams is definitely up there. Easily top 10. I mean, 'cause I like Mike Evans more than I like Devontae Adams. But in this system with Green Bay, when he has Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Rodgers loves him, Devontae Adams, you're talking about terms of fantasy, is definitely a top three receiver. He played like it last week when he obliterated the Eagles without scoring a touchdown.
Yo, I'm afraid to play this game. Like other than Zeke, I don't know who I'm going to play, just because I got this deep feeling Dallas is going to blow them out. Like who is going to make plays on this offense? that they're not going to be able to stop. Like you can
Yeah.
do. I don't know. It's just I have a bad feeling, man. I don't. Aaron, if Aaron, I might play Aaron Rodgers though, because he might have the pass
Yeah.
50 times this week. So
Yeah. Aaron Rod, if we talking about a captain mode, Zeke, Rogers, definitely. You gotta throw it. You gotta throw. You probably gotta put Aaron Jones because of the Cowboys, but it's like Aaron Jones can't come off the field, so all the volume is going to be there, and you gotta go. I mean, tight end maybe Jason Witten. And then throw a dart for the Packers receivers. I hope you get the right one. Like either the Geronimo or MVS. Hope you pick the right one, or maybe revenge game. Randall Cobb.
he's just
Everybody.
he's just gonna go off.
It's
Oh, okay,
possible. I don't know. He might go crazy. He like give me the ball,
right.
Dad. I got it.
It could. It could.
It's possible. It's possible.
All right, Sunday night football. The Indianapolis Colts, the injured Indianapolis Colts,
Yeah, that's
and the
over with.
Kansas City Chiefs over under 56.5. They got Kansas City winning by 11.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah,
If
they
Marlon Mack plays, he is a lock.
think so.
Yeah, because if Marlon Mack plays, there, I mean, I don't know how this ankle injury is. Like, some people are iffy about injuries. I'm like, depending on the injury, I'm I'm gonna play that player no matter what. Injuries don't really matter to me.
Well, I mean, he's definitely a lock in the season long. I mean, like your fantasy, your dynasty fantasies and all that stuff. But DraftKings, the reason why I want to take it back because when I saw the game, I was like, well, the Raiders were keying in on him. The Chiefs can't. They just not good enough against the run. But it's like if the Chiefs get up, this is where I think the Hines show finally shows up because them if Ty is not out there, Max volume. I mean that like Max like what we're looking for. Max
Upside,
whatever upside is that's where is crushed because I was like nobody else on this team can make plays but Mac.
and then Paris Campbell got hurt, so
And then but see the thing about it is with Andrew Luck, he can make other guys make plays. Jacoby's not that type of quarterback.
he's not. He's a game
So
manager.
right. So if nobody else can make the plays for him, and Marlon Mack doesn't the box is going to be stacked. Because if Chiefs, you might as well stack the box. I mean, put everybody in there. I mean, if Ty doesn't play, but I mean, I can see this game getting out of hand real quick. Colts defense has not looked like I thought it was going to be this season. It kind of, I mean, Darius Leonard been banged up the whole season, but Mahomes going crazy. He had 0 touchdowns last week. He throwing about 7.
See, that's why it's so weird, man. So I have Mahomes and Kelsey and Mack as locks. I put ceiling plays. I just put KC wide receivers, Indianapolis wide
Yep.
receivers, Indianapolis tight ends, Kansas City running backs. No names. That's all I put.
I mean, yeah, because Damon Williams back now, so I don't know how they're going to use him. And because Darrell Williams didn't do anything to keep the job, he just scored touchdowns.
And I don't know who to trust as a pass catcher for the Chiefs.
I
Like
would,
Sammy Watkins is the best talent, but how are the other teams going to game plan to try to stop Sammy Watkins or stop Kelsey or like you have
I
the
don't
choose
even.
who you want to stop or who you want to make try to beat you.
I just stay back and stop and double team Kelsey because I mean, Sammy Watkins he looked great week 1, but we haven't seen.
Exactly. So he's still the best talent on out of all of them though.
Then
So
then you'd be like, oh, Miko might do something. And he had like a catch and he fumbled last week, so he didn't do anything. Like it did DeMarcus Robinson after that one game. I mean, like it's just you just pick Mahomes and Kelsey and you're safe.
yeah, Indianapolis is going to be behind this game. So I got Brissett as a floor play. He is that game manager. He can easily get you 15, 16 points as a fantasy quarterback. And then, yeah, T.Y. Hilton, if he does play, is a floor. And then I have Hines as a floor play if Mack is
Yep.
out.
Okay. After what Russ did Thursday night, Mahomes got to show him up. So I'm definitely I know Mahomes is expensive. If you can go Mahomes, if you got Mahomes in dynasty, I mean fantasy, like you're lucky. But Jacoby Brissett is tied with Mahomes right now in touchdown passes this season with 10. So even without T.Y. Hilton, he's up there. He's up there with 10. He's the only quarterback in the league with that has multiple games with touchdowns, like multiple touchdowns in all 4 games. So like he had two, at least two in every game.
Okay.
So this whole season. So and that streak is going to continue to go. So I'm with you on that floor play all the way. He might just be a lot just because of the game, how the game is going to go. He's going to, unless he get hurt, he's going to give you 20 points just because they're going to be losing so much, and he's going to have to throw the ball. Because even last week against the Raiders, don't know why, like they just didn't show up at all. But without T.Y. Hilton, man, I'm out on all Colts. Like I just don't see like. And to be honest, I didn't think T.Y. was that much of a factor though. I didn't think he was that much of a factor until I saw the game. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is
Yeah,
really bad.
because he's doing all of that. He's doing everything on the field for the Colts. He's like,
Yeah,
if he's going to be the dude in the middle of the field in the slot trying to get it on third down, he's going to be the dude making that big play. If it's not trying to be Eric Ebron, who can't catch a ball at all.
nope.
Um, yeah, that stat low key threw me off. I was like 10. I had to think
Yeah.
back. I was like, how did he score 10 touchdowns? I don't know, man.
Oh man. All right,
This
last
game's
game,
gonna
man.
go blowout. Yeah, the Cleveland Browns at the San Francisco 49ers over under 46.5. The line is 47.5. The line is -4 to San Fran. Um, if you have him, you are playing George Kittle. This is George Kittle's game for me. He's breaking out this game. He's going to destroy the Browns.
Yeah, and you got to think they've been run heavy like always. The Kyle Shanahan offenses this past like this whole season. Kittle was sorry, like this last year, where week 1 through 3 or 4, he was nothing. He was on waiver wires, and then boom, 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 he broke a record as a tight end. So, if you can buy low on Kittle, you got 2 days to do it because after Sunday, I'm on board with you. He can go stupid crazy in this game. And obviously Cleveland going to try to stop the run because I mean 49ers have no pass catchers that you can rely on, or as far as trust, as far as fantasy and DraftKings and all this other stuff. They're going to have the Keenum on the run and kill me wide open. That should work. Play action pass is going to kill Browns. I will lean 49ers because Kyle Shanahan had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. But the Browns looked good last week. And it honestly can go either way. I think this is going to be a very great Monday night primetime slate, DraftKings and all that stuff. This is where you put some money in because it's a lot of options to go around.
Be a weird game though.
Definitely.
Another lock I have is if the Browns want to win this game, they need to do what they did last week. Nick Chubb needs to run the ball at minimum 20 times if they want to try to win this game.
It's gonna be scary when they get Kareem Hunt back too because I feel like you should just run the ball. Like you shouldn't even throw like you got OBJ and Landry. I know you want to play with your new shiny toys, but it's better when they run the ball because even last year, like they was winning games because Nick Chubb, like because he was so dominant. You couldn't just key in on the pass. You had to respect it. Yeah, and Baker's gonna kill you if it's 1-on-1. He accurate. So yeah,
Nick
do the same
Chubb,
thing.
At the end of last year, Nick Chubb had the highest grade for PFF as a running back.
He should have. He should. He
Yeah,
played great.
he was
It
decent enough.
it's gonna be a great Monday night, and I'm excited to watch this because the running back show for the 49ers versus Chubb, like this is gonna see who can score the most fantasy points.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I have the whole San Fran. It literally says San Fran team as a ceiling play, and then San Fran running backs as a floor play. That's I don't
kept
know
it
who you can't.
kept
You
it
don't
simple.
know who to go.
Yeah, and you see why I picked up Cousins over Jimmy G because I don't know because they're gonna run the ball too much. Kittle can go crazy, but Jimmy G's not gonna throw nobody back. I mean, I just don't. You just
It's
don't know.
crazy, man. And then yeah, OBJ is a ceiling play for me. I actually don't like OBJ this week, but I'll get into that later. Jarvis Landry did clear concussion protocol. I have him as a floor play because it's definitely possible that they can be down in this game and they're just going to try to move the ball. And that, yeah, if Landry gets the volume, he's going to be a floor play. But you have to find that volume, and that's the only thing.
Right. Does of the week, man. What you got? What you got?
My duds of the week is Wayne Gallman. I do not trust Wayne Gallman this week. You guys are going to stop him at every turn. I really like the Vikings defense this week. Wayne Gallman's a dud. And then yeah, the other dud I just talked about. I do not like OBJ this week. Like you said, San Fran is trying to run the ball. They're trying to play this game slow, and OBJ is one play away from making your lineup. I just don't think he gets that play this week against a very, very well coached San Fran defense.
All right, my dud. I'm going Alvin Kamara once again. I mean,
I,
he's
I
gonna he
thought
got
so.
the he got the volume, but they don't have they're being too conservative for me. And like I said, Tampa Bay is going to key in on the run, so I don't see Kamara because even if they do swing passes all day long, it's not going to work. I think Tampa Bay. I'm all in on Tampa Bay, so I could be wrong, but I'm all in on them. Also, my other dud is going to be uh, I debated back and forth about this because I didn't really know which way to go, but you might get mad at this one, but it's probably going to be Julio Jones. Not mad, but because like I said before, it's so many options on Atlanta. Matt Ryan doesn't have to settle for throwing 14 targets to Julio Jones. Now I could be completely wrong. I know it's a big star name, but I can see Sanu. I can see Calvin Ridley, like you said, it could be his week. It could be Hooper again. Maybe Devontae Freeman all of a sudden can run the ball. Who knows? But I'm gonna go Julio Jones about dud of the week, and it's not even like a dud. It's more like he did go 8 points.
Yeah, uh, I was about to go Kamara, but the last time I said Kamara was going to be my dud, he had like 35 fantasy points. So I was like, I can't. I'm not doing that to myself. All right, so yeah, we got the cash lineup of the week. As always, this is the main slate only. So no Sunday night, no Monday night. You won't be able to play OBJ, Patty Mahomes this week, any of that. So yeah, like we said earlier, that Cincinnati Arizona game is gonna it's gonna be a horrible football game. Great fantasy game. So yeah, I have Andy Dalton as my quarterback, throwing it up with I have Ezekiel Elliott. Couldn't quite get the $100 to afford Dalvin Cook this time. I got David Johnson. He is going to be in every single one of my lineups. I do not care. And then I went DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins. I like you said earlier, they definitely have more options to like pass to now. But I feel like in this game he's going to try to force it to Hopkins because I feel like this is definitely going to be a high scoring game. Another I got this play as like a safe floor play. Jamison Crowder. Like I said, all I need really is I don't even need the touchdown if I'm playing a cash lineup. I just need 8 catches for like 60 yards, and that will make my day with Jamison Crowder. And we threw that cheap boy in there, Alden Tate, $3,500. He had 11 targets 2 weeks ago. He can, especially in this high, especially with the way Arizona wants to play football, they play it with such a high tempo pace. It's going to force that other team to have more plays as well. And that can definitely bode well for Alden Tate, Tyler Boyd, any of these pass catchers, really. And then Evan Ingram is my tight end. Since I can't go George Kittle in this main slate, I like Evan Ingram a lot against the Vikings because, like you said earlier, they can't stop tight ends. They always give up these easy underneath routes for no like it makes no sense.
It doesn't.
And then yeah, I have Calvin Ridley. I'm really just with Calvin Ridley. It was either going Calvin Ridley, Mark Andrews. There's a whole bunch of people around the $4,900 range. Uh, you can play who you want. I played Calvin Ridley. I'm just hoping for those touchdowns or yeah, touchdowns. And then yeah, the defense I went the Buccaneers defense. They are $2,200 and they can get a pick six, a fumble rooski, what blase six to it doesn't matter. I don't trust Teddy Bridgewater and they're gonna stop the run, stop Mike Thomas. That's it.
This is the sixth ranked defense in terms of fantasy towards 100. I mean, I guess. All right, let me go my tier lineups of the week. Last week was hard. Godwin killed me. I went Evans. Anyway, tier one, Chris McCaffrey, Cook, or Kamara. I got Kamara as a dud of the week, so obviously I went Dalvin Cook against the Giants. I think the passing game will open up, so that way Dalvin Cook gets more running game and don't have to see boxes. Tier two, Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray, Brady. I talked about how I think Brady might the theory that the Patriots will try to get him right, but Deshaun Watson, it's just too good to pass up on the Atlanta Falcons defense. I don't see them getting any better anytime soon. Chose him over Kyler Murray because Kyler Murray options are only DJ and Larry Fitzgerald. Lamar got a lot of options too. He's safe on the road in Pittsburgh. He should be a good play, but I'm gonna go to John Watson. Tier 3, I thought about this a lot. I'm probably just going Keenan Allen just because the volume. The volume is going to be there, even though it's Chris Harris Jr. guarding him. I mean, Cooper could be also a good play in this tier, but Keenan Allen just, I mean, feed the man, feed him. Tier 4, Godwin, Mike Evans, Michael Thomas, and DJ David Johnson from the Arizona Cardinals. The Bucks receivers can kill you yet again. It's very possible that they will in this one again, but I'm going to go DJ to be the safe side. The volume is there, the matchups there. Bengals can't stop anything. Tier 5, Eckler, Mark Ingram, Le'Veon Bell, Fournette, Thielen, and Melvin Gordon. Um, I know Austin's going to go Le'Veon Bell in this one, but I'm going to go Austin Eckler or Thielen. It's kind of hard to go another guy for when you got another Charger, another Viking already. But you got to think the Broncos can't stop the run, and we said the Chargers running backs are a lock. So I just need the Eckler to get the touchdown and not get sniped by Pope or Melvin Gordon. And same thing with Thielen. Thielen got a good floor. Bill has the volume, so I understand why Austin would choose Bill. I want to go for a net, but I just can't. Now with the score being so low. Tier 6, this is your quarterbacks: Dak Prescott, Matt Ryan, Carson Wentz, Phillip Rivers, Jameis Winston, and Rodgers. I took the safe route. I took Carson Wentz. Ryan has a good matchup, and so does Dak. I think because of the running games for Dak, and then Ryan has so many options in a high scoring game, they could be good plays. Rivers only has Keenan Allen and Eckler. Mike Williams is still banged up, but he's playing. But I just don't see it. The Broncos are pretty good against quarterbacks, so I don't want that. Winston could be a good one, but he can end your career, end your life. I went him in week 1, and he killed me with all them picks. And Rodgers might get blown out. He might throw the ball 50 times, like Austin says. So it's actually you might want to you might can go Rodgers if you want a high play just because of the volume. But I'm gonna go Carson Wentz. Tier 7. Connor, Boyd, Edelman, Juju, Mixon. I'm not going Mixon. Bengals they don't average over 60 yards per game rushing. I just don't want him if you're running back. I don't want it. It's tough, but I'll probably go on Tyler Boyd. That's probably the safest option. Edelman can do anything they want with the Patriots, but it could be Gordon, it could be Dorsett, it could be who Austin says a lock in Michelle. It could be anybody like that. Juju and Connor, just the matchups. I just don't want to deal with the Ravens. Could be garbage buckets, but I'm not going to deal with it. And tier 8, I'm not going to name you all the names. Just know Derrick Henry, Larry Fitzgerald, and A-Rob is in that tier. All three had great matchups. I'm not going to go to Cardinals, so because they don't score enough. So I'm probably going Derrick Henry or A-Rob. I have to decide on that. I don't want to rely on Chase Daniel, but I don't want to rely on Marcus Mariota either. So as far as keeping the game flow open, but Derrick Henry is probably the safest option. So that's my tier lineup of the week.
All right, awesome, and yeah, that's pretty much it for week 5. Good.
Be here. Let's get some.
Oh,
Let's get some
I
money,
need,
man. Because
I need a bounce back week, man. Last week was
bounce back is
man.
an understatement.
Ah, okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Channel your inner Hoodie Hunt. Channel your inner Bill Belichick. Just try to outthink it. Just
and do your job. That's all you
don't
gotta do, man. Just do your
try
job.
to outthink it, but don't overthink it.
I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you. All right, Hoodie Hunt, and it's me, Kev, man, with Hunt for the Prize again. We're gonna make this money. We're gonna make DraftKings an income. We got to. We got to.
Sometime this year, and
We got
then
to.
whew,
Hey,
basketball coming soon. Gonna be playing double ups every single day. I can't wait, man.
it's gonna be fun, man.
It's gonna be a good year.
All right, we'll see y'all same time, same place, week 6 next week.
5:35 Fridays at 5:30
We
every
got you.
single time.
We out.